So one of my first investments was a single family property. I remember saving up. It was about 100 grand. I saved up, worked 2 jobs. I was in college at the time. And my goal is to buy it right on my 20th birthday. Hit that goal. And the original plan was to rent it out and then buy another one. I'm not sure why I thought that. I think it's because I was reading books at the time, educating myself, and I just knew this is what the wealthy people did, get them to where they are today. So I just thought to myself, if I did the same thing, I'd probably get the same result. So that was the plan, but I think the biggest takeaway I learned from that experience was as soon as I bought the place, I celebrated, which is, I think, is very important. You always celebrate your wins. But what happened is I was convinced by friends and family, hey, you need a place to live, you should move in there and, focus on school, focus on getting a career, and then, do your little business on the side. And for some reason, I took that advice and I moved in. And I moved in with a girlfriend at the time, which was a big mistake. And that probably caused me 2 years of my life kind of pointless, right? I eventually, towards the end of that 2 years, or maybe halfway towards the end, I started house hacking, which I didn't know what it was at the time, but renting out all the rooms and realizing that I was actually making around $500-600 a month cash flow after all the expenses, which was great because at the time I was obviously going to school and working part-time. But that's when I really saw the power of real estate, where I was living in the property, I was still making money, and it was covering all the expenses. Long story short, things didn't obviously work out with that girlfriend at the time, ended things there, rented out the house, and then I got back on track. Anywhere from 2 to 3 years after, I was able to acquire about 20 different properties in my portfolio. I basically then scaled after that. But it was just interesting because and I think the biggest takeaway again is the fact that you have a goal. There's going to be always outside forces, friends, family, other people constantly trying to convince you you're doing something wrong. And half the time, it's not out of bad intentions. It's honestly their opinion, right? And usually, if they don't have the results you're looking for, their opinion is not going to apply to you. It's that simple. And those are the things you need to realize, especially on your journey. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to talk to you. Oh, I don't know if you should be doing this. I don't know if you should be focusing on this. Focus on other things, especially things that make you money right away. And that's kind of the trap of kind of the employment, that income right now. And it's interesting. I even have that some of the previous partners I've dealt with. They're always talking about wanting to be an entrepreneur and a business owner. And at the same time, if I'm in business with them, they want me to pay them. I'm just thinking to myself, if the business is not making money, how am I paying you, right? Technically, you're an employee then. You're not a business owner. I can hire an employee. If you want to do business with me, this is we're going to grow this thing until we make money. So don't come to me about getting paid. You're an employee. That's an employee mindset, right? Business owners take the risk and don't get paid until they actually create value. It's that simple. If you have this mindset, I should be, paid for my time, that's an employee mindset, right? So when you hear that from another person, if you're getting into business with somebody, right, and then you hear that, my time's valuable, this and that, I need to get paid for this, employee mindset. Because truth is, when I started my journey, right, I was working 2 jobs, then in school. And then I was working full time. I ended up finding a nighttime job. And the only reason I did a nighttime job is just because I knew, one, that's probably the only thing available at the time. And then I knew I could have all my days free to build the real estate, right? So it just blows my mind when some people, expect to be paid, but they think they're an entrepreneur. They think they're a business owner, right? And the truth is, if they weren't even in partnership with somebody else and they did it themselves, they'd probably give up and then just eventually go to a 9-to-5 job because they have that employee mindset. Employee mindset is just my time's valuable, I need to get paid for it, right? An entrepreneur mindset is I need to create value in the marketplace. It's that simple. It might take me 6 months. It might take me 1 year. It might take me 10 years. But I need to create value in the marketplace. Once I create value in the marketplace, then I'll be paid. And usually be paid significantly. At the end of the day, mindset is key. It always comes down to mindset. If you have a poor mindset, things aren't going to happen for you. If you have a victim mindset, things aren't going to happen for you. No one is coming to save you. It's that simple. If you're 20 years old, 30 years old, 40 years old, 50 years old, no one is coming to save you. You need to save yourself, and you need to first check your mindset, then check your actions, check the people you choose to hang around with, check what you spend your time on. Half the time, you guys are spending your time on video games, going to clubs, chasing women. Like, of course you're not successful. Like, of course, it's a joke that some of you guys think that you should be successful, you deserve to be successful, when you choose to spend your time on things that are not going to make you successful. It's delusional. And then, people might say, oh, like, but look at your life. What about my life? The things that I post online, half of it is educational. The other half is highlights of where I go. And you know what? The truth is, it's marketing. Imagine if I actually showed you what I did for 80% of the time. No one would watch it. No one would watch it at all. Why? Because 80% of the time I'm working. I'm on the computer, sourcing deals, learning about new things, learning about new concepts, trying to strategize how to enter into the real estate market in the US. Like, I'm learning about all these things. Like, throw up a camera and watch me learn. No one's gonna watch that, right? But what people do like to watch is the highlights. Highlights usually about travel, the aspects of building a business that creates freedom. They like to watch that stuff. Why? Because it's motivating. That's not really reality. Reality is working hard when no one's watching. Realizing that, hey, things might be difficult, but they're not going to be difficult forever.